Hello and welcome to the journey of Align and Attract. This is Neha Bhatia, and I'd like to welcome you to this podcast, Unapologetically Real. And yes, I'm not going to be apologetic about being real because it's about facing the reality, facing the truth, facing your own self, right? And today, in this podcast, I'm going to be sharing with you as to how you can become more and more real by understanding the 7 ways to build respect in relationship. But before we do that, can you please quickly subscribe to our YouTube channel? If you're listening to this podcast on the YouTube, just subscribe to it, or if you are listening to it on the Spotify, so please make sure that you throw in a comment or just like it, and also connect with us on Instagram. The name on Instagram is Evolve with Neha Bhatia. And at the same time, I would like you, if you haven't yet booked an alignment call with me, please make sure that you book an alignment call. We have different kinds of workshops on relationships, on NLP, and we have lots of workshops on communication patterns and past impressions, money as well. So if you're interested to know, please just check the links below and get signed up. Okay, so here's the thing. Oh, relationship. What a subject to talk about, isn't it? Like, I love this topic because there is so much to understand when it comes to relationship. We think that relationship is just about getting married, having kids, and taking care of certain things in the relationship. But no, as much as there is a lot of variety, the wideness in a business, in money, in spirituality, there is a lot of understanding in the relationship as well. And the more and more you go deeper into the relationship, whether that's relationship with your children or if it is with your partner, it's extremely important that you understand the dynamics of it. And if you understand the relationship very well, you start to understand, you will start to see more healthy relationship, you'll start to have better communication. But one of the very common things that is missing in people's relationship, and they don't realize it, is not love. It is respect. You may do a number of things in a relationship, but the moment you start to lose the respect in a relationship, the moment you start to feel disrespected, or if your partner is feeling that, which means, my dear friends, that it's really alarming. Okay, because at the end of the day, even if somebody doesn't know his own respect very well, once you start to question his respect, that person will start to go away and move away from you. And believe you me, I have seen that in my own relationship as well. Whether I was being disrespected or I was not giving enough respect to my partner. And it is just so important to understand how to build that respect. And with an experience of being in relationships, and a wonderful relationship right now of 6 years, almost touching 6 years this October, believe you me, I know for a fact what really goes into destroying that respect and what also goes into once again reviving that respect. So the first and the most important thing is, and we all need to know, is judgments. I mean, think about the time when you met this person, right? Just take a moment. The moment you met this person, you start to have conversations. You could be in your 20s, you could be in your 30s, 40s, but the moment you start to have this conversation, you start to chat, maybe you were talking for 2 hours every day, you know, there's not many judgments. You were just accepting that person as they are. Come on, think about it, isn't it? You were not thinking too much. Oh, okay, it can be changed. It's just the beginning of the relationship. I mean, if it was so big enough to not even move forward in the relationship, that's a different thing. But in the very beginning, you were not judging too much. You were keeping that aside. Also, there was a feeling in you that let's just go with the flow, right? Let's see what happens. Yeah. So why does it stop after 6 years, 10 years, even after 6 months sometimes? You know why? Because we start to have a distance with that person. I'm talking about not physically, but on a vibration level. You start to make that person separate from you. I mean, think about the time when you met. You start to feel one with that person. Didn't you feel that, this person completes me? This person makes me feel happy. She makes me laugh. He makes me be myself. And then after 6 months, 6 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line, all of a sudden that person is not making you laugh. That person is bringing the worst side of you, right? But when you met this person, that person did not bring the worst side. Instead, that person brought the best part of you, best version of you. Isn't it? Think about it. So, something I've learned in my life, and it is very, very beautiful, that especially when people fight with each other, they start to raise their voices. I mean, think about it. In a relationship, why people raise their voices even when they are in front of each other? You know why? Because the distance is not physical, the distance is vibrational, and more than that, there has been a distance in the soul. The soul has distanced. When you were meeting, when you were together for the first time, right? It was not you both coming together, it was your souls coming together. And it's not really we who decide, it's actually we at the self level, soul level, right? And you start to feel that person was you. So many things were different, but still you're feeling that this person understands me. This person, you know, even if I have some things, this person really understands me, right? So I remember when my partner first kind of proposed me, and being an Indian, for me, propose means just saying, okay, get into a relationship. I know in the foreign world, uh, in the foreign country, they say that, okay, proposing basically means like a engagement or marriage. But I'm just saying when my partner proposed to me, it was, uh, I remember we were sitting on a terrace and we were staying in a hostel. He was traveling and I was just staying there for some time. And he came to me and he said to me that, hey, I love you. And he kissed me. And for me, it was very unreal for a moment because nobody had done that. I don't entertain people and let them come in my space very fast like that. And he did that. But we had a little bit of a connection before. And I said one thing to him that very moment. I was like, today you are seeing the best side of me. So you're accepting me and you want to start a relationship. But when you will see the bad side of me, will you be able to accept me? So, acceptance is the fundamental. And when we stop to accept, we start to judge. And when we start to judge, we start to separate that person from us, right? And then that person is not our priority anymore. Then other things are our priority. So I really want you to just do one thing with me, okay? Here, really just put your hand on your heart. And it's so emotional for me while I'm doing this because this is definitely something. I'm not just saying it, I'm also doing it along with you. I am really putting my hand on my heart and I'm saying and I'm feeling that that person is just exactly the way when I met this person. I'm seeing him exactly the way, especially the first few meetings. And I'm just saying, I accept you the way you are. 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 And I accept you just the way you are. I accept you just the way you are. I love you. I respect you. I love you. I respect you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being in my life. Just imagine that person. He's holding your hand and just feel that. Beautiful. And now, bring your hand down, open your eyes. Isn't that amazing? Now, I know if you are going through a very tough time, this could be a little bit challenging. So, we have more points, right? We've just covered one point right now. Acceptance doesn't mean that you accept the person and then not make the change, right? It's like I accept that person and I will not make any change. That is called passive acceptance. So, when you start to accept that person, you also have to learn some methods like you're learning in this particular podcast, how to make the changes. What exactly are we experiencing? So the second way to build respect in relationship is to regulate your arguments. Not just to deal with your arguments, but to regulate your arguments. I've always talked about this. This is so important. There is no relationship that I know of which has not uh, gone through arguments. And some people who know how to regulate their arguments, they will have a better relationship, they will have a better communication. So here's the task for you. Instead of just going and speaking your word, because when you speak your word, you're just speaking your word. And when you get into an argument, you're actually not even listening to that person, right? So today I want to give you a little bit of a process here, and it is one of my beautiful process that I apply with my clients, with my friends, and of course with my partner as well. So this is a three-step process. Whenever you want to go and start a conversation with your partner, okay, or even if you're in the middle of a conversation, always use these three statements. And trust me, there's something in the subconscious of the other person will change. So here's the thing. First thing first, always start with a thank you. Make the person realize that yes, you have done enough already. It's not just that go and put your shit in front of him or her. Literally puke on him. It destroys relationship, especially when the person is not ready. But when you start with a thank you, you've already just given that person that kind of a space in his head that she respects me or he respects me, right? Oh, I'm important for her, right? And then you begin with what you really want to say, and not in the way that you thought of already. So you may want to say, thank you so much for taking the time out. I know it sounds very formal. I'm saying that to you right now in this podcast, and I know it might sound very formal, but you may start with just writing it first and then going to that person. Okay, so it will hardly take one paragraph and hardly take 1 minute of your time, or maybe 5 minutes of your time. Thank you for doing this. This is for me. I was just thinking about it. And I also feel, then you write your feelings. For example, if you have not been prioritized much, okay, so you can start to just say, I've always been feeling, I've been feeling from a little while that this, very briefly, and I feel that if this could be changed or it could be directed in a better way, I think our relationship can be better. So you need to know what exactly your goal is in your relationship. So, for example, my goal is us. In our relationship, it's always us. So when you write something like that, okay, I feel this, and it can be better for the both of us, then you're also making the person feel good about him, or you're also making him included instead of you demanding all the time. Make sense? So you write your feelings. Actually, you do this in the writing process, okay, first. And then you close it with a question. Well, what do you think about it? Do you think, and just don't say that, what do you think about it? You may want to really add a proper question that the person can think over. And also tell that person, you don't have to answer right now. Take your time. Just think about it. How can we make it better? Trust me, you will see a change. Believe you me. Yes, if it is very new for that person to absorb this kind of information, it can turn into another argument as well. But just stay calm, relax. Trust me, you have done the right thing. This is a very beautiful three-step process. Start with a thank you, and then you express your feelings. Include that person when you expressing that, and then end with a question, and with the exact question. It could be a 2 to 3 line question, which can make that person think how we can change the situation. Okay, and you don't have to do this immediately. You can first just write it down. When I do this process, when I write down, whether it's with my client or it's with my people, I realize how my own negative thoughts are also coming to that. And then I realize, I have to follow the exact method. And that just makes me calm all of a sudden. That just makes me accept the person. Just makes me once again be one with that person. Okay. The third way to build respect in a relationship is to have a progress report. Now, this is something that I do on a regular basis on every Saturday. So I have an alarm on my phone, and every Saturday at 10 o'clock, that alarm rings, okay? And it just says relationship PR. So PR is something that we do in our memberships as well. So if you want to have my membership or be a part of my membership, you can always book an alignment call with me as well, okay? And we do this PR every week, which is a holistic PR, but you can do every Saturday a PR for your relationship. So 10 o'clock, you just have some questions for yourself. Am I getting enough respect? Am I giving enough respect? Getting is also important, but you need to ask, you need to ask certain questions to yourself. That's something I will not explain to you in this podcast, but you just need to see or ask, what is the level of, what level are you at in this relationship right now? How do you feel? What is the level? What is the scoring? If you want to give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 is the best. 5 is, let's say, okay, okay. 1 is like pathetic. You fighting a lot, or maybe you have distanced yourself a lot. There's a lot of cold war going on, right? So please make sure that you have this. You can do it every Saturday, like I do as well. And see then, if it is 5, then what is that 5 missing? Okay, and then follow the first 2 steps. If it is respect, if it is love, or you can also follow our, the um, YouTube channel or even the podcast, because we keep making videos on this. So just write as well to us what topic you want to cover, what topic you want us to cover. Okay, PR is so important. It will just make you realize where you are at. Okay, like for health, with my clients, the PR happens on Monday. For relationship, it's on Saturday. Okay, a quick PR, just to give a little bit question to your mind. Hey, where am I in this relationship right now? Where are we in this relationship? Okay. The fourth way to build respect in relationship is give love, but keep your power. So important. A lot of people don't understand this. I always talk about give, but what people do is they end up giving love, but they, of course, which is important, but they also end up giving their power. And the power is what? Their self, their identity, a part of their identity. And you know what? I have felt that as well. When you give the power, when you start to uh, pray to that person and consider that person as God, which means you have given the power. Okay? And when you give the power, whew, my love, it's going to be very tough then. It's going to be very tough. So you need to know where to set the boundary that you're giving the love when you're contributing in this relationship, but you're not giving the power. Okay? When you give the power, you lose yourself. And when you lose yourself, you start to lose a relationship very soon as well. Because when this person met you for the first time, that person saw you in your fullest. And now when you've given the power to him, now he's not seeing your power as well. You understand what I'm saying? So you do need to give the love, you need to contribute, but you need to know. And that will come with experience. That will also come with, keep listening to these podcasts. And like I said, in my, with me, in my, in my alignment memberships, diamond or silver or even platinum, people start to understand this one concept of contribution and yet keeping the power with themselves. It is really, really powerful. Okay. The fifth is very important. Um, it is a beautiful way to build respect in relationship. This is something I have been doing in my relationship as well. I say, okay, communicate with the moon, okay, or slash write a letter to them, okay, write a letter to him or her. This does wonders. And this is going to be a free writing. Like in regulate your arguments, you did a proper process, right? 3-step process. But in this, just write whatever you feel like, whatever you're feeling, just write it down, okay? When you've already done the second point of regulating your arguments, you will automatically be more mindful in writing a letter to them as well, okay? What is connection with or talking with moon means. So I've been into a long distance relationship. So that one thing which is the common with the both of us, which the both of us are experiencing every day, is the moon, and of course the sun as well, right? My partner is in Canada. So in the very beginning of our relationship, I used to be like, hey, I sent a message to the moon. Did you receive it? Right? So it used to be so funny. And I used to also write a letter. And I used to also say this to the moon, actually, whatever I've read, whatever I've written. And believe you me, it used to do wonders. And now when sometimes I have forgotten my own rules, for example, if I forget my rules, he reminds me, okay, but you didn't send the letter to the moon, or you didn't say to the moon. So when you do this, you will automatically, first of all, become free. And on a vibration level, you will start to connect with this person. This podcast is going amazing, isn't it? It's so interesting. It's so in depth. Whatever I'm sharing with you, it's not just information. It actually can bring transformation. Okay. And the next, which is so important, is respect yourself. If you want to build respect in a relationship, if you want the person to respect you, the first thing that you have to do is respect yourself. One of the reasons that you're not getting enough respect is because you are not respecting yourself. You're not doing things that helps you connect with yourself. Like I always say this to my clients: are you giving enough time to yourself? Do you go for a walk? Do you give some time to your body? Are you respecting your body? Are you um, just giving some time to yourself, being with yourself, right? Do you love yourself? Are you judging yourself a lot? Are you criticizing yourself a lot? If all these things are happening, then my love, you are going to get the same from the other person. Because like I always say, if for example, one of the days, this was many years ago, I was wearing a dress, and when I got out of the house, I saw that there was some kind of a stain on my dress. Okay, and I started to feel, the moment I saw that, I started to feel everybody's looking at me. Has it ever happened to you? Yeah, you you feel something in your body or on your dress, and you start to feel everybody's looking at you. You know why? Because you are feeling that. And believe you me, that happens now. That doesn't happen with anything negative, for example. But for example, if I'm wearing a nice dress, I always feel that everybody's looking at me. And I want to feel that. Why not? Why not? You understand what I'm saying? So if you want to be respected, you have to first appreciate yourself. Are you doing that on a regular basis? Are you doing that in different ways? Are you respecting your body? Are you giving nutrition to your body? Right? Are you listening to something like this on a regular basis? Yeah? Okay. So this is the sixth way. And the last way is seek professional help. If your relationship is at one, okay, but you still love the person, you still feel that things can be changed, but maybe you haven't taken the right action, then seek professional help. I mean, if you want, you can always book an alignment call with me. But if you want, you can also go to somebody else. We would love to have you in our alignment call, because we have helped people, people who were almost at the verge of divorcing, and they were able to regain the relationship. Is it possible? Very much, because you haven't understood the 9 points. You understand what I'm saying? If you are if out of 1 to 10 you're at 1, so because you only seen the 1 point, but you're also more focusing on the 9 points so much. He doesn't respect me. He doesn't give me enough love. He says things to me. You know. So when you do that, my dear, you will start to know that okay, we need to change that. We need to bring that 1 to 10. You need to be in your fullest, how you were when you met for the first time, right? So thank you so much, everybody. If you enjoyed this podcast, if you think that this was helpful, please do share something in the comments, and do like this video as well, or audio. And if you would like to get in touch with us, nlpwithneha.com is the website you need to go, and just write to us on the chat and book an alignment call. I'd be more than happy to serve you, to help you in your relationship, in your life. Because my dear, you know what? You've got to be real with yourself. And I was pretty unapologetic over here in being real. And you need to be as well. Look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.